Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to lecture number 5, Accounting for Decision Making. So today we would be discussing absorption costing and marginal costing and their comparison and what is the impact of the costing methods on the profit calculation of the company. So costing, we already discussed different types of cost, different types of costing approaches. Cost means sacrifice. To get something, to acquire something, what you sacrifice is cost. And what is costing? Costing actually means calculation of cost, determination of cost, finding out the amount of cost. For example, if you produce a product, how much is the cost of production? So it includes material cost, labor cost, overhead cost, and you may produce hundreds of products, thousands of products, units, but how much is the cost of one product that you produced? You have to calculate that. And the calculation of determination of cost is costing. And there are different methods of costing. We will be discussing two important costing methods today. One is absorption costing, and the other one is marginal costing. Absorption costing, also known as traditional costing, or also known as full costing, F-U-L-L, full, complete. So absorption costing, traditional costing, full costing are the same thing. And marginal costing, variable costing, and or you can say incremental costing, kind of same thing. Marginal costing or variable costing, incremental costing are the similar thing. So absorption costing or traditional costing or full costing, what does it mean? So if you calculate the cost of a product considering all of the variable cost and fixed cost of production, then this approach is called absorption costing. So absorption costing is a system of calculating cost where you will consider both fixed production cost and variable production cost into the product cost. And we discussed before product cost. What is product cost? If you want to produce a product, what is the production cost? If you want to buy a product, what is the cost of that product? That is the cost relating to a product that can be directly charged on the product is product cost. So if you calculate cost according to absorption costing, you will consider both fixed production cost and variable production cost in your product cost. So all manufacturing and production related cost, it can be material, it can be labor, it can be overhead, it can be relating to other factory expenses. All the cost are included in your cost objects, in your product cost. So manufacturing cost, What are the manufacturing cost? All the manufacturing cost would be charged on the product. Either it is direct or indirect. Either it is variable or fixed. All the manufacturing cost you will charge on the product. Include in your calculation to determine your product cost. Next one is marginal costing or variable costing. Variable costing or marginal costing includes only the variable cost of production in calculating product cost. So if you calculate product cost or the cost of a product, you will consider only variable manufacturing cost. You will not include any fixed cost. Fixed manufacturing cost would not be included in calculating cost of a product according to marginal costing approach. So what are the differences between absorption costing and marginal costing? Okay. According in absorption costing, cost splits based on function, production, non-production. But in case of marginal costing, costs are divided based on behavior, whether it is fixed cost or variable cost. Okay. In case of absorption costing, inventory is valued at full production cost. That is, all fixed and variable costs are included in product cost, production cost. All the cost is included, all the manufacturing cost, remember. But in case of marginal costing, only variable production cost is charged on inventory, calculated as inventory cost or product cost. Okay. In case of absorption costing, how we calculate profit? Sales minus cost of sales is gross profit. But in case of marginal costing, sales minus variable cost or variable cost of goods sold is contribution. All right. In case of absorption costing, non-production overheads are deducted after gross profit. Non-production overheads, that means sales overhead, marketing overhead, administrative overhead, distribution expenses are deducted from gross profit to find out net profit. In case of marginal costing, we have to deduct non-production overhead from contribution. All fixed overhead from contribution, not non-production. Is actually should be all fixed cost is deducted from contribution to find out net profit. So how can you calculate the cost, product cost according to absorption costing and product cost according to variable costing? If you see the elements of cost, elements of manufacturing cost, basically these are the elements of manufacturing cost, right? Direct material, direct labor, variable manufacturing overhead, and fixed manufacturing overhead. These are manufacturing cost. And variable sales and administration and fixed sales and administration, these are non-production cost. So non-production costs are not included in product cost in either of the methods. Okay, in none of the methods, in absorption costing and in variable costing, no method of costing consider these as product cost. These are not relating to product or manufacturing of product. Okay, but these four elements. First four are manufacturing cost. Out of these manufacturing cost, in absorption costing, all the production related cost. Material, labor, no question. Variable manufacturing overhead, no question. Fixed manufacturing overhead is also considered as product cost in absorption costing. So all the manufacturing cost are part of your product cost or product cost or production cost according to absorption costing. But in case of variable costing, you will consider only variable part of the manufacturing cost. Three elements, these three, not the fourth one. Okay, the fourth one would be excluded in variable costing because it is fixed. It's not variable. This is variable costing. In case of variable costing, you will consider product cost or calculate product cost based on variable manufacturing cost. Material variable cost, labor variable cost, and variable manufacturing overhead are also variable cost. So these are being considered as product cost in variable costing. And fixed manufacturing and non-production cost all are period cost under variable costing. Okay, these are not, this is variable cost, but this is not product cost under variable costing because this is not production cost, production related cost. So absorption costing, if we just say in a chart, so the cost can be divided manufacturing, non-manufacturing cost, as we saw in our previous slide. Cost is divided based on the whether it is production related or non-production related, non-manufacturing. In production cost, manufacturing cost, material, labor, overhead, and all these three elements are considered as product cost, charged on the product or manufacturing process. And non-manufacturing cost directly charged on the profit and loss account. But in case of variable costing, right, overhead cost, all overhead costs don't go to the product. Fixed part of the manufacturing overhead goes directly to the profit and loss account, and non-manufacturing cost directly goes to the profit and loss account as well. So there is no question about material and labor in case of including them in product cost, but the question or the division difference happened in case of overhead. In case of absorption costing, all the manufacturing cost, material, labor, overhead, all overheads, fixed or variable, both is considered as the whole overhead is considered as product cost according to absorption costing. But in case of variable costing, you can say variable part is considered as product cost, as work in process, stock or inventoryable cost, but the fixed part is not charged on the product, is considered as period cost and directly goes to the periodic statement, that is profit and loss statement. And that's all about the theoretical, the conceptual part. I'll discuss the example in the later part of the video. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next part.